part of this conference. We acknowledge everyone. We, the participants of the inaugural Global Youth Workers Conference 2025, drawn from governments, embassies, national agencies, development partners, and international non-governmental organizations, civil society organizations, academia, media, professional associations, students, youth workers, private institutions, meeting at the Ghana National Association of Teachers Hall at Abraka from 2nd to 6th June 2025. Show appreciation to the board chair of Youth Arise organization, the National Youth Authority, Ghana, country representative of UNFPA, coordinator of the Commonwealth Youth Workers Association, and all stakeholders for opening the conference and calling the attention of all stakeholders to youth workers across the globe. We also want to appreciate Cargill, Promasidor, Rock Chemist, Pella, Five Star for sponsoring and supporting this conference. Being at being at a very pivotal time in achieving the sustainable development goals, we realize the challenges that affect youth workers in playing significant roles to support youth in achieving the SDG. The origins of these challenges lie in the deficiencies, the inconsistencies inherent in both national and international policies and frameworks, which exert a direct or indirect influence on the youth. Cognizant of the huge effort made by concerning stakeholders since the effect of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals of the 2030 Agenda, we have only been able to achieve 17%. The majority of the targets, about 83%, show either limited progress, stagnation, or even regression. None of the 17 SDGs are fully on track to be achieved globally, with significant challenges, especially in the area of the in the areas such as food value chain, climate change, biodiversity, education, employment, peace and security, art entertainment, health, STEM, and AI. Progress varies widely by region, with Nordic countries leading, BRICS countries showing faster than average progress, and less economically developed countries lagging behind. The overall pace of progress has been stagnant since 2020, highlighting the urgent need for intensified efforts and reforms in global resources to meet the SDGs by 2030. Today, participants from all parts of the world discuss the gaps in global policies and frameworks that affect the role of the approximately 2.5 billion young people in contributing to the achievement of the SDG. And we make recommendations to the six identified thematic areas: education, employment and entrepreneurship, youth in agribusiness and climate change, STEM and AI, mental health and well-being, peace and security, digital technology, art and storytelling. Note that a limited number of conveying platforms for stakeholders in the youth sector or youth sector to collaborate on, implementing projects that improve the lives of young people. Furthermore, platforms for the periodic review, deliberation, and proposal of solutions to enhance the overall impact of the youth sector remain insufficient. Affirming the establishment of the Global Youth Multi-Stakeholder Platform involving all key stakeholders of youth work to be responsible for monitoring the implementation of the recommendations of this conference and the transformation agenda of the youth sector. The platform shall also provide support to stakeholders in their efforts to implement the provisions of global policies and frameworks related to the youth sector. We now make the following recommendations for consideration of all youth stakeholders. We are starting with digital art, storytelling, entertainment. 1. Establish regional centers for digital storytelling. That is, create hubs dedicated to education in digital art and storytelling, fostering local creativity. 2. Integrate digital skills into art education. Enhance both formal and informal art curricula with essential digital competencies for modern storytellers. 3. Collaborate with tech and academic partners. Develop workshops, certifications, and mentorship opportunities through partnerships with technological firms and educational institutions. 4. Promote collaborative storytelling tools. Advocate for that facilitate teamwork and innovation across various storytelling media. 5. Organize inclusive storytelling events. Host events that celebrate diverse storytelling styles, merging traditional and contemporary approaches. 6. Create resource sharing platforms. Establish systems that enable creators to collaboratively share resources and co-create projects. 7. Investigate AI's role in storytelling. Collaborate with academic institutions to research and analyze how AI technologies influence artistic expression and narrative construction. 8. Develop cultural heritage software. Focus on creating tools that promote and preserve African and global cultural heritage through digital means. And finally, raise awareness on ethical AI use. Advocate for understanding the ethical implications of using AI in storytelling, ensuring responsible practices. The second thematic area, the future of artificial intelligence and STEM education. Recommendation 1. Parent education programs. Organize programs to educate parents about artificial intelligence and its significance in the development of young people. 2. Curriculum integration. Implement AI courses in the educational curriculum at all academic levels. 3. Collaborate workshops. Organize community hubs and workshops to provide essential skills in AI to local populations. 4. Infrastructure investment. Establish infrastructures in all groups across the globe to facilitate AI awareness and education. 6. Teacher training integration. Integrate AI education into teacher training programs to prepare educators for teaching AI concepts. 6. Open source resource utilization. Leverage open source courses to enhance critical thinking and analytical skills among students. 7. Local material utilization. Use local materials and available tools to foster critical thinking and problem-solving abilities. 8. Policy development support. Develop guidelines and support for effective policy creation related to AI education. 9. Dedicated government body. Establish a dedicated government body under one ministry to oversee policy standardization, funding, and strategic goals for AI education. 9. Funding for AI and STEM. Advocate for government and global policies that allocate funds to support AI and STEM initiatives. 10. Institutional alignment. Ensure that educational institutions align their frameworks and policies with AI and emerging technologies. 10. Centralized platform for collaboration. Create centralized platforms that enable donor partners to collaborate with existing institutions, focusing on key performance indicators. 11. Policy advocacy. Advocate for transparency in demonstrating the policies created by the government and other stakeholders regarding AI education. 12. Academic awareness initiatives. Educate students through AI and academic conferences to raise awareness and apply knowledge practically. 13. Youth led monitoring platforms. Develop online platforms where students and youth teams showcase AI and STEM projects, receiving mentorship and feedback. 9. Ethical AI awareness. Promote awareness of the ethical use of AI in various applications. And finally, faculty training on AI tools. Training lecturers on the use of AI tools and methods to engage students in critical thinking and environmental problem solving. Now, on the third thematic area, education, employment, and entrepreneurship. 1. Integrate financial education. Incorporate structured financial education into all levels of national and global curriculum. 2. Experiential learning promotion. Promote experiential financial learning through real world exposures and gamified approaches to enhance engagement. 3. Enhance educator technology capacity. Strengthen the technological capacity of educators to effectively integrate digital tools into teaching and learning processes. 4. Include digital skills in curriculum. Prioritize the inclusion of digital skills such as coding, innovation, and AI in educational curriculum to prepare students for the future. 5. Establish business incubators. Create locally funded business incubators to nurture and support young entrepreneurs in their ventures. 6. Structured mentorship access. Provide structured mentorship and professional guidance for startups to ensure they receive necessary support. 7. Frequent training programs. Hold regular training and retraining programs to keep educators and students updated on best practices and emerging trends. 8. Stakeholder engagement. Ensure active engagement of stakeholders in the formulation of youth policies to reflect real life experiences and needs. 9. Rebrand youth policies. Rebrand youth focused policies to make them relatable, clear, and actionable for better understanding and implementation. 10. Regular policy reviews. Conduct regular policy reviews to align them with the evolving needs of youth development. 11. Independent monitoring agencies. Appoint independent monitoring agencies to track implementation and effectiveness of youth programs. 12. Fund utilization audit. Audit funds utilization and assess the impact of youth-focused programs to ensure accountability and transparency. 13. Strengthen partnerships. Enhance national and international partnerships for policy coherence and shared development outcomes in youth initiatives. 14. Ministry of Education involvement. Involve the Ministry of Education in various countries in creating and supporting programs that help young people learn essential life skills, digital skills, creativity, and active citizenship. 14. Promote knowledge exchange. Foster knowledge exchange through digital platforms and expand global engagement via memoranda of understandings and treaties. 15. Institutionalize youth participation in program design, policy implementation, and to ensure their voices are heard. And finally, foster early mentorship. Promote early mentorship programs to prepare young people for leadership roles and policy engagement. Now to the fourth thematic area. The fourth thematic area, youth, peace, and security. 1. Intensify youth education. Enhance education programs focused on youth, peace, and security to empower young people with the knowledge and skills needed for peace building. 2. Stakeholder collaboration. Encourage collaboration among all stakeholders involved in peace building to create a unified approach to youth engagement in peace efforts. 3. National Youth Peace Policy. Develop a national policy that unites young people in their peace efforts, facilitating effective collaboration and promoting peace and security. 4. Intentional youth engagement. Institutions must be intentional about including youth in decision-making processes and peace initiatives. 5. Targeted policies for youth groups. Implement policies specifically designed to work with youth groups to foster their involvement in peace-building activities. 6. Alignment with national policies. Align peace-building efforts with national policies across 5 key pillars to ensure coherence and effectiveness. 7. Youth involvement measurement. Enact government policies that measure youth involvement in peace processes to better understand their contributions and impact. 8. Monitoring and evaluation systems. Invest in robust monitoring and evaluation systems to track youth engagement in peace building, including clear indicators for measuring impact and accountability. 9. Improve existing structures. Enhance and improve existing structures for youth engagement in peace initiatives. 10. Mass education and capacity building. Conduct mass education campaigns and capacity building programs to equip youth with necessary tools for peace building. 10. Coordination frameworks. Provide coordination points and frameworks to facilitate collaboration among youth, institutions, and stakeholders. 11. Safe spaces for victims. Develop safe spaces for victims in conflict areas to foster healing and reintegration into society. 12. Buffer zones. Establish buffer zones in conflict areas to reduce tensions and promote peace. 13. Engagement of ex-convicts. Create structures and systems to engage ex-convicts in peace-building efforts, facilitating their reintegration into society. 14. Mental health support for ex-convicts. Implement mental health programs for ex-convicts to support their rehabilitation and acceptance in society. 15. Economic engagement policies. Develop policies aimed at the economic engagement of youth to reduce vulnerabilities and promote stability. And the final one, destigmatization of ex-convicts. Promote initiatives to destigmatize the acceptance of ex-convicts back in society, fostering inclusive communities. Thematic Area 5. Youth in mental health. Youth mental health. 1. Youth-led awareness campaigns. Create youth-led awareness campaigns to raise awareness about available mental health services and advocate for increased funding. 2. Peer education programs. Develop peer education initiatives where young people teach each other about mental health topics and resources. Social media campaigns. Organize social media campaigns to promote mental health awareness and foster acceptance among peers. Youth Advisory Board. Establish Youth Advisory Board to influence local mental health policies and ensure youth perspectives are included. Mobile Crisis Unit Advocacy. Advocate for the establishment of mobile crisis units that can provide immediate mental health support in emergency situations. Crisis Response Statement. Release crisis response statements to maintain trust and credibility during mental health crisis and provide clear communication. Research partnerships. Collaborate with researchers to collect data on youth experiences and needs related to mental health to inform policy and program development. Design youth-centric programs. Work with institutions and professionals providing mental health services to design programs specifically tailored to youth. Mental health officers in schools. Integrate mental health officers into schools to ensure easy access to mental health services for students. Peer group integration. Implement mental health services within existing peer groups to create supportive environment. Alliance platform for collaboration. Establish an alliance platform to foster partnerships and collaborations among organizations focused on youth mental health. Transparency in mental health care. Push for transparency regarding mental health care quality and patients' rights to build trust in services. And finally, holistic campaigns. Engage in campaigns that highlight the importance of along mental health alongside other critical youth issues to create a comprehensive support framework. Then finally, youth in agribusiness. Youth in agribusiness and climate change. 1. Leverage technology. Access and adopt the necessary technologies to enhance agricultural practices and improve efficiency. Increase mechanization. Advocate for greater mechanization in the use of modern tools on farms to make agriculture more accessible. Broaden agricultural appeal. Advocate the value of agriculture to attract more young people into the field. Intensify sensitization efforts. Encourage youth workers and organizations to intensify awareness campaigns targeting young people starting from basic education level. A big one here. Reintroduce agriculture education. Bring agriculture education back into the school curriculum at the foundational level. Develop climate smart training. Create more youth-centered climate smart agriculture training programs similar to competitions like Olympic. Practical agriculture education. Foster partnerships between agriculture organizations and schools to allow students to apply their learning through hands-on practice. Resource aggregation for youth. Empower young people to aggregate resources and information related to agriculture, making it easily accessible. Increase climate-focused sensitization. Support more climate-focused organizations in conducting sensitization programs about sustainable agriculture practices. Encourage collaboration with startups. Promote agriculture research. View climate impact as opportunities. Open mentorship opportunities. Promote agriculture games. Organize agriculture games to make learning about farming fun and engaging for young people. Integrate agriculture content into national curriculum. That is, establish comprehensive agriculture education at various levels to foster a sense of importance in agriculture among youth. Primary education, age 6 to 12. Include the Feed the World program. Lower secondary, 12 to 15, agriculture and sustainability. Upper secondary, 15 to 18, teach them about agriculture value chain. Tertiary education, agribusiness, postgraduate, optional. Engage relevant stakeholders. Ensure that relevant stakeholders, especially youth, are actively involved in decision-making structures related to agricultural policies and programs. promote paradigm shift, raise awareness to change perceptions, encouraging admiration for agriculture as a viable and respected field of study, strengthen agricultural policies, develop and strengthen policies that integrate learning and practical experiences through school gardens, sensitize on diverse agriculture opportunities, create a conducive entrepreneurial environment, foster an environment that supports agricultural entrepreneurship through subsidies for business registration, offering a 5-year tax holiday for agribusiness startups by young people, improve access to extension services, enhance access to extension officers at the local level to provide necessary support and resources to aspiring agricultural entrepreneurs. We further call all governments, development organizations, and stakeholders across the world to take steps to promote youth work and ensure greater transparency and accountability in dealing with youth work. Youth workers and all stakeholders to establish more effective collaboration with clear focus on youth work with key performance indicators designed to improve the lives and impact of all youth across the globe. All youth, all youth for a change. We call all youth for a change of mindset at all levels, including leadership positions, as a fundamental shift in the approach to policies and framework in accordance with best international policies and practices. Everyone must ensure that young people are established, they are equipped, and they are engaged. Thank you very much. In the absence of the MC.
Well, let's clap for our chairperson. So, at the end of the conference, these are the compiled recommendations that came out from the gaps that were identified. So, we realized that it's stated from each particular thematic area. Our Africa CDC person too is here. Let's please give it up to. Okay, so at this moment, we would like to give the mic to some key stakeholders to actually share with us their key perspectives on our recommendations and then the whole session as a whole. And also how we are going to implement our recommendations. I mentioned that these recommendations are not just recommendations that we are just going to leave it on paper, but then we are all coming towards collaborate to see towards the implementation of the recommendations. So, and then also they are going to share with us how they are going to commit to re-implementing these recommendations. I'd like to pass the mic on to our key stakeholders to share with us their perspectives on the conference, the gaps, and the recommendations, as well as their commitments and how we can actually implement the recommendations. Thank you. Let's start from Africa CDC. Okay.
Good morning. I think it's a very difficult space for me to find myself having to say something with the understanding of Africa CDC being a continental institution, an organ of the Africa Union. But my reflections are going to be a little bit skewed towards the mental health component of our conversations because I came in to represent Africa CDC through the mental health unit and the work Africa CDC is doing on mental health. So, from the statements that have been read and which I think cuts across most of the areas, the thematic areas in which um, youth work works within, and as a basis and a fundamental principle on livelihood, there is no health really without mental health, which says in whatever we are going to be doing in all the different areas, we need to try and strive for a mentally well continent. And as I probably might have indicated during my address and also during the thematic areas discussion, that Africa CDC is very intentional about the commitment in promoting mental well-being in the continent and cognizant of the fact that the continent is a very young population. 70% of the population in the continent is youth. And we have programs that are running at Africa CDC targeting mental health and also youth specifically programs. And in addition to that, from the areas which I think came out from the mental health work stream, I picked a couple of things. There's the one around mental health integration into emergency response and preparedness, which I think for the terminology in this space, we spoke about crisis and mobile availability of clinics, mobile interventions, which is one of Africa CDC's flagship intervention in its current strategy on NCDs, injuries, and mental health, where we're looking at the integration of mental health psychosocial support into emergency preparedness and response, and that is cognizant of all the key populations, and youth is one of the key populations we have in the continent. The second stream of work, which I think reflected directly to what Africa CDC is doing, is the generation of evidence on mental health data and also making sure there's research being done in the form of research for informing interventions, not just research for publicizing papers. And we are very intentional about that. And I think it's one area that we have taken keen interest in to say if young people want to do research, we will try and make ourselves available to support, be it technical support or linkages as well to where the resources or maybe even the technical expertise may be available to provide that kind of research in mental health. And we're also speaking about the integration of mental health in school curriculums, where most of the work being done, young people spend most of their time in school. So for you to be able to find meaningful interventions on mental health for young people, you need to go where they spend most of their time, which is schools. And we have actually been having an ongoing working relationship with some of the UN agencies, in particular UNICEF, who they've been doing research on high school mental health and some of these other areas. And the last bit is on the mental health advocacy and education, where we have a mental health leadership program. I was talking with Mr. Moses at some point to say it will give me great pleasure at some point with the mental health leadership program, seeing some young people being part of the different pillars of the Africa CDC mental health leadership program, which is the Kofi Annan, the FETP programs, the mental health leadership and advocacy courses, which and also the last bit, which is CSO engagement and coordination. I will take it upon myself going back to Addis Ababa to say Youth Arise as an institution, as a CSO, should be part of the organizations that are working with Africa CDC through the support of CBM Global to coordinate and be registered as amongst the NGOs. The reason why I'm raising this is because as a continent and as Africa CDC, we are not able to get into in-country implementation. We work with governments and ministries of health. CSOs are a little bit at the bottom of the food chain in our level of interaction. But seeing the work being done in this space, we have a pillar that works with CSOs to say, for capacity building of CSOs, we have a pillar in our leadership program that works in that space. And it would be really awesome to have Youth Arise and other NGOs and CSOs in the room being enrolled and registered with that particular pillar of the Africa CDC Mental Health Leadership Program. In addition to that, we have the short courses. I've spoken to a couple of other colleagues in the room to say you do not need to be a psychiatrist, it's a psychiatric nurse, a psychologist. If you are working in the space of youth work, you are engaged with multiple personalities and different people. You need capacity as a leader. You cannot build your capacity by seeing other people being successful from your impact when you are not growing. You can only give as much as you are getting back to grow yourself. So that leadership program is available, is acceptable to anyone. If you have the interest in growing yourself as a leader with special interest in mental health, yes, but it also teaches you advocacy, which cuts across the board. You don't need to be an advocate for mental health to be in advocacy. Those are some of the opportunities that I think we might probably not have been aware of, which Africa CDC has available, particularly to young people. And we also have other initiatives, innovative initiatives in Africa CDC, like the Bingwa Plus initiative, which is also open to the public. And all of these are targeting young people. So, as a young person in the room, as a youth worker, the best you can do for yourself as you are advancing the cause of impacting others, it's for you to do well for yourself. Grow yourself to be able to grow others. You can't pour from an empty cup. So these opportunities are available. For instance, with the mental health leadership program, I know there's a course that's going to be delivered by Africa CDC with the University of Ibadan in Nigeria coming up in the end of August. And that applications will be available in about a week. It's a fully funded scholarship. Your tuition, your travel, your expenses while you're in Ibadan for 2 weeks are well catered for by Africa CDC. If you want to get continental exposure, you can also take in the very same opportunity, but you only apply once. So you can take it's done in 5 different universities in the continent. For those who are very eloquent and fluent in French, it's done in the University of Al Watara, Bouake University in Abidjan. Same course, same benefits on the scholarship. If you want a trip to Southern Africa, it's done with University of Zimbabwe. The next available for that one will be next year. For East Africa, it's in Kenya Medical Training College in Nairobi, and for North Africa, it's in Egypt. So these are opportunities available for us young people to grow ourselves, to be able to impact positively on the lives of the people we are working with on a day-to-day basis. I'll be happy to see some names on the application roster, some names on the list of people who have gotten the scholarship, some names on the list of people who are beneficiaries of the CSO engagement Africa CDC is doing. I expect Youth Arise to be part of that, to lead the way, and I expect all other institutions in the room to be part of that, because the biggest problem we have continentally is lack of coordination. We are doing as much, but doing it as much in silos does not reflect the impact of the amazing work we want to do. And from Africa CDC side, we are really happy and we are really proud to have seen a group of young people coming together to discuss issues affecting youth. And this is going to inform a lot of policies moving forward. Do feel free to engage with the Africa CDC through the social media platforms and other different available platforms. Africa CDC is for the continent. It's not a private institution, it's an organ of the Africa Union, which was co-founded by none other than the proud son of the soil in Ghana, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. So you might just do well as a Ghanaian or as a West African to make good use of Africa CDC as your institution, because your forefathers gave us much for it to even eventually be there. With those long words, thank you very much for the amazing week and amazing stay. You have been great people. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I am very, very excited to be part of this Youth Arise organization conference. And for us, we actually, the Unveil Foundation is actually dedicated to providing a personalized tuition and mentorship and providing digital tools to learners that are struggling in their academic journey. We'll be doing this thing for some time. Even this month or the 13th, we are going to train people, about the GSHS students in Florida, about 3,000 of them in AI masterclass tutorial. And so for us, this particular conference is so instrumental to us, and we are really dedicated in trying to partner with youth rise organization to be able to make sure that the educational aspect, because if you look at the SDGs goal 4, which is talks about the quality education, the statistics globally shows that about 617 million people lack minimum proficiency in mathematics and reading. And so Unveil Foundation is there to promote that. And we are so excited about all the recommendations that came, especially trying to integrate AI and digitalization into our educational system and trying to provide more access to digital tools and to be able to help these kids to be able to fit into the global standard. And so, for the Unveil Foundation, we are here to support this cause and to champion every cause of the Youth Workers Conference. What I want to end with all of us is that as youth workers, we are on this earth to help, to serve. So we should be ready to serve with our wisdom, our knowledge, our effort, and our skills. And Ghana and the whole world will be a better place to live. Thank you.
National Youth Authority.
All right, thank you very much. As the authority, we deem it great opportunity to have partnered in this program with this conference. Great. I would just want to make some few words. Majority of the recommendations that has been given are things that authority has in mind and has been doing already. For instance, when it has to do with the National Apprenticeship Program, the NAP, we did a stakeholder engagement and we did that engagement totally with the youth. And so doing, we are going to enhance and ensure that most of the recommendations that have been put before be taken up and then we will be working on them. I was speaking with Moses and then I was telling him there are more things that we can collaborate and work together. And so the authority welcomes all ideas. And we also stretch our arms and say that all groups here that haven't been registered with the authority should do so. You can locate us at the Azuma Nelson Sports Complex at North Kaneshi. You can come partner with us, come let us work together, come let us empower, elevate the youth. We need all of you on board because individually it becomes difficult to achieve, but when we all come together, we will be able to do greater things. When it has to do with the digital aspect, we know that AI now is on the move, and so the authority has been considering, and then we are engineering most of our programs towards the AI as well. We are looking forward to having this document, looking at it, adapt most of the recommendations, and then act on them. Thank you very much.
World Youth Alliance.
Thank you so much, everyone. As a representative from the World Youth Alliance, I want to urge everyone that we have good recommendations, and like most policies in Kenya, we have really nice policies and nice recommendations. But just urge on everyone that please make sure that as stakeholders that you actually actualize those recommendations, and in actualizing them that you will always put the dignity of the human person first before anything else. As World Youth Alliance, our commitment will be in partnership with Youth Arise, we will possibly host a conference in Kenya and we will work on the logistics on that. And all of you are invited to join us. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Youth Arise. Thank you, Ghana.
Advocate for you.
Thank you very much. So, as advocates for youth, we we advocate for young people, and I like to say here that young people are very eager to participate in the lives of their society. They are eager to be part of the solutions, but usually um, society does not see it that way. And so we are excited to be part of to see that there's a group of organizations working to advance young people's interests have come together. So that gives it another layer of advocacy. And all I want to say now is that we are ready and available to to contribute our expertise, our experience in advocating for young people and ensuring that we make them a part of the solution and not just brand them as a problem all the time. And so we are always available and ready to contribute technically and especially technically, and in any other way we can to make sure that this becomes a success. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I want to thank everyone here for this wonderful conference. And all have been said. I'm from Benin, and what I've seen here is wonderful, very, very fantastic. And all have been said, as I said, the representative of CDC has said it all. In fact, we need to work together, coordinate things. We won't work individually, but work all together so that we could achieve our goal. Thank you very much for this wonderful conference.
Thank you
Agency
very much.
leaders.
Thank you very much. I first of all I want to say a big thank you to our stakeholders for sharing in their various inputs and all other invitees as well. And the representative of the Right Center for Arts, Culture and Entertainment. I also think that we'll put in our all to be able to ensure that as young people matter and young people matter even in the digital storytelling space as well. So support to ensuring this. Thank
Thank you very much for this opportunity. I would like to say thank you to all the stakeholders that contributed to bringing up actionable steps that we could all implement together. We, as the Youth Alliance for Agriculture Transformation, would work together with all the stakeholders, especially those within the agribusiness and climate change sector, to ensure that all the recommendations are achieved. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we at the Orange Professionals Network in Youth Arise, we will ensure that we collaborate with all stakeholders, especially educators and then policymakers in education and employment and even entrepreneurs to ensure that individuals are well educated in the workspace and also ensure that we all come together to mentor young people in entrepreneurship. So we have a lot of people coming up with ideas for job creation. So we urge all stakeholders here that after today, we are going to work together to help young people build a very wonderful working space for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you. So to add my voice, so I'm representing Youth Rights Organization as a country director. We have organized this and we are in this together. We will encourage all stakeholders and all partners to work with us fully and together we'll be able to integrate this and make this happen. Yes, it is possible once we collaborate as a team so that together everyone will achieve more. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We from STEM Explorers Network are grateful to have been part of the stakeholders for this particular conference. listening to the recommendations, especially in STEM and AI. We are willing to comment to ensure that young people are established, equipped, and engaged in STEM and AI, and generally in the recommendation, however we can contribute. So we look forward to working with every other stakeholder in ensuring that would work on the gaps identified and work on the recommendations. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so from the RI Center for Holistic Health, Wellness, and Nutrition, we were privileged to supervise or handle the youth in mental health breakout session. And we want to just say to all our stakeholders, thank you so much for acknowledging our invitation and for coming to share your massive expertise in the subject of mental health. One of the passion and heartbeat of the RI Center for Holistic Health is with regards to mental health is the fact that most of the programs that Youth organizes, we set up health aids and health booths, and we try to offer health services to these young people. And one of the major issues that we always have to deal with is their young people's ability to cope with stress and all the other mental health issues. So sometimes we dealing with conditions, but then eventually you can realize that this is something about the mental health issue, and we are very ready to work with the Africa CDC to build more skills. We have a lot of young people who are ready to be trained and get trained when it comes to mental health, so that we can offer the needed resources, the needed expertise and skills, and we can also share the exact coping mechanisms with these young people, so that as we continue in our daily works and all that we are doing, we will not be mental health issues will not be found and will not be predominant amongst us. Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you as well. I believe the crystal light test that magnetizes us all to this platform is our desire to see the emergence of a new Africa. And as a representative from the New African concept, uh, we maintain that nations are not successful because of advantages like natural resources or geographical positioning. Nations are successful uh, because of the quality of their value system. And as an organization whose interest is to reconstruct the ethical foundation of the emerging generation, we are committed to ensuring that wherever we are needed to effect a paradigm shift, we believe the progression is path to transformation, first of all, mind renewal before the person is entooled or equipped to become whoever they want to become. And my encouragement also to all youth workers, like I shared with some people, we are the ones to determine how the next generation turn out. This is a great privilege. Let's not take it lightly. Wherever our expertise is required, we will ensure to come and deliver. So we're willing to partner with all stakeholders as well. Thank you.
So let's give it up for them. At this moment, we are so happy to hear from all our stakeholders, partners, agency leaders. We would want to unveil our statement. So our chairperson will be signing the statement and then present it to the House as fully endorsed recommendations made from the Global Youth Workers Conference. Yes. Let's give it up for him as he signs. So we want you to get up and all stakeholders can join him as he presents the signed recommendation to the general public. Wow, let's give it up, let's give it up.
How do you
faster I will run. You can deny me, you can decide to turn your face away. We are so grateful to all stakeholders. At this moment, we would like to hear a word from our chairperson. We would like to hear a word from our chairperson before we invite Councillor Steffi for the vote of thanks.
GYWC, GYWC, for the last time, GYWC. We will all admit that this has been a wonderful time, it has been a wonderful conference, and it would not have been possible without you who participated in the conference, without all the stakeholders. It would not have been possible. We could not have called this a global youth conference if we didn't have someone travel from the US to Ghana for the conference. If we didn't have somebody travel from Sierra Leone, from Liberia, from Mali, from Ethiopia, and from all the other countries that came for the conference, we would have said that, oh, we are organizing a Ghana Youth Workers Conference. But your presence made it possible for us to call this program a Global Youth Workers Conference. And we are grateful to you for spending these days with us and for going through all the gaps, and for providing recommendations that will guide us for the next 2 years. In 2027, we'll meet again, bigger and better, showing results and showing that we have covered the work that has been done after this program. Thank you and God bless you. I cannot hand over the mic without thanking once again Kagel. Let's clap for Kagel. I cannot also end without thanking Promasido. Without thanking Rock Chemist. Without thanking Pella and Five Star. I think we should have had Pella. Please, if you can fix Pella up at this place and let's take a picture. Let's acknowledge the work of Pella for helping us. And we could not have done this workshop without individual donors from the US who donated to this program. So I do this, I want us to put it on record. Let's send it to all donors who donated. Thank you so much for donating this. Thank you so much for donating and to support the Global Youth Workers Conference. All our US donors, thank you so much. We appreciate you. We love you. And it is by your donations that made this conference possible. Without your donations, we could never have had this program. Thank you to Audrey, thank you to Efua, thank you to Peter Sapon, thank you to Microsoft. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Before we listen to the vote of thanks, I would like to mention that the signed documents would actually be shared with all stakeholders involved, and then also an invitation to stakeholders organizations to invite nominees into the multi-stakeholder platform. Okay.
Please, I want to acknowledge all stakeholders who are here. Very, very important. We want to acknowledge Monsieur Alexis Pareso from Benin University of Abomey Calavi. Yeah. Let's clap for Monsieur Alexis Pareso. Mr. Abraham Ofosu, is he here? University of Ghana. Amabwedi, Ghana Health Service. Amabwedi. Boris from Benin. Thank you. Cletus Asari, Advocate for Youth. Cynthia Wusu Ansa, Queen Nubian, Nubian Queens of Ghana. Please, can we see you? Thank you. Thank you. My new friend, Dumsane Injogo Ima from Africa CDC. Thank you so much for coming. We become friends. Very wonderful person. The big one, Edmond Ofosu Yabua from the National Youth Authority. Thank you so much. Not move from friends to brothers. LC Kusa Empowerment. Thank you. Empowerment Center for Peace Building. We do a lot of things in the youth peace and security space. Gideon Bansa, New African Concept. Thank you. Thank you. Ishmael Kwame Apia. Ishmael Kwame Apia. Thank you. We acknowledge you. We appreciate you. Joy from World Youth Alliance. Thank you. The last time I traveled to Kenya was about 5 or 6 years ago, and I've been wanting to return to Kenya, and I know that with you, I'm back to Kenya. I want to visit the Maasai market again, and I want to go to some of the, the wildlife centers that I didn't go. I'm returning to Kenya. Yes, and I'm going. Joy is sending me to Kenya. Kaku Airebe from Guinea. Guinea. Thank you. Kosi Have Ba Yevo from Mali. Thank you from Mali. Thank you. Will you send me to Mali? Thank you. Yes. I have 10 nations to visit before the year ends. If you pay for my ticket, I will go. Richard Wanye. Okay, thank you. People who wrote it. Timothy. Is it Ewa or Emwa? Amwa. Hey, God, people who wrote it. Timothy Amwa, Ghana Think Foundation. If a Ghana thing has done so well, they've been with us from day one till today. Greetings to Atil Hussein for the great work he's doing with Ghana Think Foundation. Orange Ganta, YO Benin. Orange. Wow. I'm returning to Benin next month. It's going to be wonderful. Wow. Please forgive me, okay? Gemlin F. Gabia. Department for Children, Defense for Children International, Liberia. She has already promised me that she's buying a ticket for me too. All I need is a ticket. Then I'll be there. Takunda Clement from Zimbabwe. Wow. I'm going to visit the land of Robert Mugabe soon. Mrs. Amping Safo Talk to Me Foundation. Wow. She's a big woman and we are going to do a lot of work with her in the space. All Youth Arise volunteers and workers. Oh, please, all of you. I cannot mention a name and leave another name. All of you. It was tough having to select. We have about 200 volunteers. It was tough selecting 50 out of 200 to volunteer. And those of you who are not here and are watching virtually, you were not selected. We love you. We appreciate you. they work for you.
And you'll be at the next conference. Thank you so much, and God bless us all. On that note, I would welcome Councillor Stephanie to give us the vote of thanks.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I want to begin by thanking God for the opportunity to put together this conference. I want to thank the executive chair or the chair of the Global Youth Workers Committee for leading us on this journey towards organizing the Global Youth Workers Conference. It's been an amazing journey and it's been a learning one, and he's been so instrumental in getting us to where we are. I want to thank all international agencies that supported us, all NGOs that were present, all CSOs, all national agencies, National Youth Authority. We are very grateful for the immense support that you gave us throughout the period, going on ground. It was amazing hearing some of the amazing things you did for us. All policy makers, all partners, all stakeholders present. I want to say we are really, really grateful to all of you for making time from the 2nd of June to the 6th of June. Today is 6th of June, and it's been 5 long, intensive thinking days, and everybody has been involved in the process from beginning to the end. Fellow agency leaders, thank you so much for putting in the work to get us to where we are. We want to thank the OCC, Organizing Committee. Yeah, that's still done. We were working ahead of to get this conference together, and it's amazing to see that we have done it down to this day. We want to thank all our sponsors, Pella, 5 Star, Cargill, Rock Chemist, for Macedon, for the coffee break, for the lunch, for the resources, for all the materials they helped us with. They made this conference possible. And to anyone here who I have not acted, I want to say thank you so much for coming out and joining us to draft our global statement. We look forward to coming together again in 2027 for the next Global Youth Workers Conference. And we are confident that at that time we would have made significant progress in achieving the things that we stated we do. Thank you very much.
Before we go to the closing prayer, I'd like to give some short announcements. That's the signed recommendations, the conference report will be shared through your various emails when registered. And then also we have a conference website and our social media handles. So if you have not followed yet, kindly go to your social media handles and search Global Youth Workers Conference and follow. We are also going to upload all our media, the photos, videos, and then exciting moments on our website as well. Also, we are also going to distribute or disseminate invitation letters of the MSP to all stakeholders. We all know that you present doesn't mean that you are joining the MSP. Probably your institution is going to nominate someone more informed on a particular thematic area to join. Also, we realize that some institutions actually are more geared to about 3 or 2 different thematic areas. So we are going to send an invitation letter, and your institution is going to nominate 2, 3 people to join the various thematic areas that they are into. Also, we're also going to share the concept notes on the multi-stakeholder platform so that it will give all stakeholders a well-informed idea of the multi-stakeholder platform. On that note, I'll call Councillor Henry to give us the closing prayer. Thank you.
Please, we are praying. We thank you, our Father in heaven, for the grace to put this together. We thank you for the strength you've given to us. We thank you for the insight and the knowledge we've been able to share. We continue to pray that you give us the grace to transform our statement into a reality. In the name of Jesus Christ, we have prayed with thanksgiving. Amen.
For the champions, stand up. We are having a good picture. Media team, please can you help us where we are taking our group picture? We can't-
Here we go, getting close. Now it's just who wants it most. It's just like that's how it is. Cause we have our strengths and weaknesses. Oh, I have vision, oh can't you see? I'm on the move, make way for me. Stand up.